Welcome to another episode of Forge Father Fire. This episode is called Would You Bet on Yourself? So over the weekend, I had a chance to catch up with one of my buddies that I went to college with, and we started reminiscing about how much money we used to bet on NFL football. When I was a freshman in college, I remember placing my first bet because our neighbor was a bookie in the dorms. And without going too far off topic here, just to let you know, our neighbor, the bookie, he actually ran a full-on casino out of his dorm. Like, the dude was just raking in money, and it got to a point where there were people coming to our dorm that weren't even college students. They were coming to play blackjack, and it was just crazy. But either way, so got into gambling a little bit, and it started off, $20 a game, would win some games, so I'd do $50, $100, and it got up to a point where I was betting $500 on NFL games. And I remember we came across this website, and it was like Bob's Picks or something like that. And Bob was on a hot streak. For 5 or 6 weeks straight, he was picking the lock of the week. And so you'd pay like $100 for the service. And so me and a bunch of buddies got together. We bought Bob's Picks. And so we started putting money down on these games. We were winning. And so I got up to $500 a game, and it was like nothing. Just throwing $500 down, and when you would win, it'd feel fucking good. But when you lost, it would ruin everything. And I remember I came away on the losing end. Like, I lost a lot of money. And so I was catching up with my buddy, and we were just thinking about that. And it got me thinking about how adult men are so quick to bet on teams, to bet on players. They'll throw money down on gambling, but then when it comes to themselves, they won't put anything down. Why? Because they don't believe in themselves. They don't trust themselves. They're not willing to bet on themselves. And so if I was to ask you the question, would you bet on yourself? Put everything on the fucking line, everything that you owned right now, all the money that you had in the bank account, would you put it down on yourself to follow through, to be able to conquer and overcome anything that comes in your way? Would you bet on yourself? And if there's any sort of hesitation at all on whether or not you would do that, that's a problem. That's a problem right there, and we need to look into that. Because if you're hesitating on that, it means that you doubt yourself. It means that you don't trust yourself. It means that deep down inside, you don't think you can fucking do it, and so you're not willing to put everything down. But I'm here to tell you, man, in this game of being the man that you need to be for your family, it requires you put everything fucking down on the line. If you want to become your absolute best, separate yourself from the crowd, be an uncommon man, it takes what it takes. But most men in this world, they're average as fuck. They're common. Why? They want to play it safe. They just want to check the boxes. They don't want to bet on themselves. But yet they'll sit back and they'll complain about how they don't look the way they want to look. They don't feel the way they want to feel. When they take a hard look in the mirror, they're reminded that they in fact don't have everything that they want. They could be making all the money in the world. They can have an okay marriage. They can be an okay father. But when they look in the mirror, there's their real answer right there. And so I'm going to leave you with this, man. If you're listening to this right now, and you couldn't answer fuck yes to that question that I asked you about whether or not you would be willing to bet on yourself, that's what we need to fix, man. Look deep inside yourself. Where are the doubts coming from? Where's the hesitation coming from? Where's the distrust coming from? And you want to know how you start building that? You start fucking showing up every single day, putting in the work, following a specific path. This isn't all just random bullshit. I don't just show up every single day and put in random ass work. It's all very, very intentional. But it requires effort. It requires sacrifice. It requires discipline. It requires you to bet on yourself. So if you're ready to take things to that next level, if you want to get yourself to a point where you're saying, fuck yeah, put it all on me because you've built that trust, send me the DM, bet it all, and we'll get you going on this path.